All right, what is going on, guys? It is your boy here, Jacob Cooperman, of course, the combat consultant, the soundboard god. And with Austin Mcbroom versus a Nissan Gib 2 on the horizon here, I figured we could look at the first match, give my analysis, and glean any insight that we could get onto how this second fight would end up going. So let's get into it. Here we go. 6 rounds, 3 minutes. And this fight was, I don't care what anyone says, this fight, absolute classic. If this was mainstream boxing, ESPN classic for sure. Just had so many ups and downs, so many peaks and valleys, and it really shows how far these promotions have come. And I know I probably say that like every 2 videos now, but it's true, dude. Look at how far these guys have come. I do think it's also an outside venue. I do believe it was raining a little bit. I can't remember if that played a factor in this fight or not, but we'll have to see as the fight goes on. And Gib just putting that pressure on. One thing he's known for is his gas tank and his ability, his heart. I mean, it's second to none. Right, his finishing instinct, he's just a dog in there. Already both these guys just, oh, there it goes. Yep. So that's the first knockdown. It was kind of a, you could argue that he was a little bit off balance, but definitely a clean knockdown for sure. Mcbroom, one thing you could say about him is he has insane power in his hands. For being 30 years old, that's pretty impressive, right? You got a young, spry guy in front of you, 26, and he's moving the way that he's moving. It's a testament to being able to stick him on the button like that. And so now you see Austin Mcbroom. He's got that killer instinct to him too, where he's now coming forward. But Gib, the best way I would describe Gib is you'd have to finish him off early. Pause. If you empty the tank trying to go after him and you can't successfully get him out of there, he can just catch back up to you. And you see that the height difference was giving Gib a little bit of a problem. When he does enter in, it's very fast, but before he does enter in, he's kind of hesitating a little bit. You know, he's trying to use his feints to open Mcbroom up. And that's a sign of a fighter with a good IQ. For his size. Guys his size comparative to Austin Mcbroom, when they're not fighting guys their height, they have to be very fast. You have to use your footwork to get in. You have to use feints, combinations. You have to be tricky, misdirections. That's one thing that Michael Chandler in the UFC does really well. So obviously Austin Mcbroom gets a 10-8 with that convincing knockdown in the first round. And this is where we kind of see what fighters are made of. How they come back, how they respond after a round like that. We know the caliber of fighter that Gib is. He's more than just an athlete. He's a true fighter's fighter. He's a fighting man. Here we go, round number 2. And Gib's still in his face. That's important. Because if you can get a guy going backwards the entirety of the fight, sure, he can catch you with a good shot, but he also has to be worried about what's coming back at him. That degrades almost his own offense, his own arsenal. And you see Austin Mcbroom now just a little bit more fidgety, and now Gib's starting to settle in, starting to get a little bit more comfortable now. I'm going to be interested to see what adjustments both men make for the second fight, because Austin Mcbroom knows that he can crack Gib. He knows that he can sit him down. But Gib also has to have a lot of confidence, because Gib was able to sit him down. So it really truly is, in my personal opinion, a 50-50 coming into this second fight. You see when Gib gets in range, he's just throwing. He's just buzzsaw. Boom, 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 boom. Throwing with volume, but also accuracy. Whenever you're in the pocket with a larger man, and I've sparred guys that are like 6'3", 6'4", you have to make every single shot count. You can't be moseying around. Tell you, if Mcbroom finds the right guy that can't handle that type of pressure, I mean, it's Gib in there again that we're talking about, but if he finds a guy that isn't equipped to handle that forward type of pressure that he gets, where he can crack you, and then he's just hunting you down, he could be a real problem for anyone. And his punches in close are accurate. They're sharp. I mean, Mcbroom's no slouch, man. He can box. The pace is just slowed down a little bit in the beginning of this round 3. Now, also, it is important to mention that Austin Mcbroom coming forward the way that he does with his lack of head movement and not keeping his hands up really near his head, it did lead to him getting knocked out. For the second fight, Mcbroom should definitely focus on keeping those hands higher up, answering the telephone, and just kind of diversifying his attack in terms of angles. When he comes in, he's like a buzzsaw, right? Boom, 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 boom. He'll come forward, but he's not moving that head at all. He's just kind of blitzing on the center line. And that's why you see Gib scoring with hooks and even straight shots. Is Gib doesn't even have to do the math on where he's gonna be. Gib can just say, okay, Mcbroom's gonna be right there coming towards me. Boom, right? Boom, you know, boom. And there you go. There's the shot from Gib, a clean counter. I believe that was a cross. Let's just take a look at that again. Here you go. Gib comes in, flashes the jab. Mcbroom comes in, tries. He's loading up on that cross, and that's just an overhand. I mean, that's a almost a looping cross over the top. Yeah, Mcbroom was kind of loading up too much on that shot, and it cost him, man. 50 seconds left here, round number 3. And again, you got to commend Mcbroom for coming forward like that, but he does get stung. He got stung right there. And they tie up. That sick bastard, Austin Mcbroom, just smiling through all of it. It's ridiculous. And this is where I remember, this is where the cookie starts to crumble. I think he gets knocked down 5 times, something crazy like that. He was able to answer the count here, and that's the end of round number 3. And it's hard to tell how hurt or how injured Austin Mcbroom was from those shots. He doesn't seem like he's out of it. It just seems like kind of like a flash knockdown, which can happen, right? Especially with guys with power. It might just have hit the reset switch, right? You're not going to maybe see him get wobbled too much. Here's the shot this is the pull counter. Oh my God. Yeah. See, like that's reset button. To generate that amount of power from that angle as he was backing up is crazy from Gib. And here's the shot over the top. It's able to plant his legs, big hook. Yeah. On the temple too. Okay, here we go, round number 4. Now Gibbs off to a tremendous pace. Now the tide is starting to turn on this fight. Collar tie uppercuts. He's starting to get a little bit sloppy now. And Mcbroom kind of just, yep, let's go of all technique, comes forward and gets cracked yet again. So if you want to talk about adjustments that he can make for next fight, I'd say keeping his composure through tiredness, through getting dropped would be of paramount importance. Also keeping his hands up near his head, being even a little bit more technical, because at the beginning of this fight, he was doing just fine. But this is the fight that Gib wants to fight, because Gib can fight very rapidly, but he could also keep his technique. So, I mean, Mcbroom's completely in Gibbs' world here. Oh my God. And it's the same shot. I think it's been the same shot 3 times in a row that has been able to drop Mcbroom. That should say something about Mcbroom's IQ, his fight IQ. Hey, don't walk into the same shot 3 times. Don't leave your head open when you walk into the pocket. Don't walk into the pocket. Earn your way in with shots, with combinations. Some nice shots there. And I guess the ref had warned Gib about some shots to the back of the head, but it is tough because there's a bunch of panic going on, right? And it's wild, and guys aren't really focusing on where they're throwing or how they're throwing. It's kind of just chaos at this point. Oh my God. Yeah, that was a perfectly timed bomb. Same shot for the 4th time. Gib gets it done. So for this second fight, I don't see any reason why Austin Mcbroom can't make it competitive, but he really needs to clean up on his technique, his defense, and how he enters the pocket, man. Because we've seen that he had early success against Gib. He got overzealous. He dropped the ball. Happens to the best of us. Went in for the kill. Perhaps he gassed out a little bit. You just want to see a much more calculated and controlled Austin Mcbroom. Without further ado, that has been the episode for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been your boy, the combat consultant, the soundboard god, Jacob Cooperman. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.